So, 2 weeks ago, MrBeast announced his brand new fundraising challenge, and that is to raise $30 million to take out 30 million pounds of plastic out of the oceans, beaches, and rivers. So, I decided to do something. In this video, I'm going to be building a massive TeamSeas inspired Minecraft build. Also, hello, I'm Faberistry, and without any further ado, let's dive straight into it. First, you need to have a Minecraft world, and the best world to create a TeamSeas inspired build has to be a massive ocean-only world. My first step in actually building this was to create an area to build in, and to do that I used World Edit and created a massive hole in the water, and this is where I'll be building. And then within this massive hole, I split it into two parts. The first part I used to create large platforms, and the second part, well, you'll have to watch on to find out. Now, onto these platforms. I made sure that they each had a cliff underneath to add some support, but also to make the area look less cylindrical. Also, just to quickly say, please do consider subscribing as well as liking that smash button, as this video took me over 50 hours to make. Okay, back to the video. However, all these cliff faces did look a bit dull, as I had just used grey wool, so to fix that I added a gradient. Now I had the platforms complete, but they were rather, well, empty. They needed something on them, so to fix this problem I created outlines for a few buildings, and I would later be turning all these buildings into a small town. But first I wanted to add a bit more variation to the area. So to do that, I created two waterfalls leading into one another. This also added some much needed colour to the area. Now I started to work on building the small town. At the beginning I used quartz, and I planned to slowly transition the colours of the buildings from quartz over to deep slate. However, after building quite a few of the buildings, I didn't quite like that. So instead I swapped out the quartz for sandstone and decided that I would be slowly transitioning into red sandstone. And after several hours, I had finally completed the town. However, I still had these large brown outlines, as I had originally planned to build a bright tower of some sorts, but instead I opted to have a slight change and create an ominous deep slate tower. Now, at this point I had built half of the TeamSeas build, and it was time to build the other half. My plan was to make this other half much more oceanically themed, which is why I made sure that the first thing I did was to create a clean lake with tropical fish, dolphins, and turtles, as well as a nice beach next to it. Also, most of you should have realised that there was a massive blue circle in the centre of the lake, and you may wonder, what is it there for? Well, the circle is actually a stand, so I can make a MrBeast statue in the centre of the TeamSeas Minecraft build. At first, I tried to make the statue just like his Minecraft skin. However, as this was a TeamSeas build, I decided to make sure that he was wearing some of the TeamSeas merchandise. Also, just for some reference, here is the TeamSeas merchandise. And with that complete, I was nearing the completion of the entire build, or was I? Well, my original plan was to create a massive wave crashing into the area. However, I just couldn't build a wave that I liked. So after 4 hours of trying, I came up with a different idea. I was going to create another large rocky area, just like I had in the first part, and I was going to use the same gradient as I did before. However, this time I was going to have 4 massive waterfalls. Also, to break up the mostly empty walls, I built another massive deep slate tower, and along with that I also built 2 small platforms with smaller waterfalls to go with them. And finally, I just expanded the top section of the build to make it fit in more with the ocean, and with that we're at the end of the video. But before you go, If you enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing as well as liking that smash button. Also, if you want to donate to Team Seas, go to teamseas.org to donate. Also, since you reached the end of the video, I would highly recommend that you watch either of the 2 videos that you see on screen now. I know that you'll enjoy them. And as always, thank you for watching.